welcome to Podcast Versus Play, episode 215. I am one of your hosts, Cal, and as always, I'm joined by a man who always says it's 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready, 4 for sales, 5 for customer service, or 6 to hear his options again. Tony Blooming Daniel.
Hello.
How are you on this surprisingly sunny Tuesday evening, even though the blinds are closed for...
And the sun went down about 2 hours ago.
It's still pretty bright out. Still pretty bright.
I mean, you're further down the country than me, I suppose, so the sun may have...
It takes longer for the sun to get down.
Yeah, it's like a blind, it's like a slow blind. But honestly, mate, I'm doing really well. We had a bank holiday weekend in the United Kingdom.
And Dan forgot it was Monday.
I did, actually, yeah, which is why the podcast is going up late anyway. But technically, I think I'm owed another day anyway, because on Thursday, I was like, I'm not really one for getting up super early in the morning unless I have to. But it was like midnight on Thursday, and I was like, do you know what? This is early for me, knowing that I don't have to get up the next day. This is early for me to go to bed, but I'm still quite tired, so I'll get up. So got up at about 2 on Friday. Oh no, sorry, I woke up at about 9, and I was like, brilliant. I've had like a full 9 hours. I feel fine. Although I haven't actually got anything to do today, which is unlike me, because for the last God knows how many weeks I've had little bits to do here and there. But I was just like, I've got nothing to do. I'll just have a little snooze. Woke up at 2, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. Never mind, though. I've still got the rest of the day, that's all right. So I was up for, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours maybe. I've reheated some food from last night. And I was like, God, I've got a headache and I don't feel great. And I think I just need a bit more of a snooze. So I went back to bed and woke up at about 2 in the morning. And I was like, what the fuck happened there? Then went back to sleep and woke up at 10 o'clock on Saturday.
Wow.
So my Friday was about 5 hours long. So I think the government owes me an extra day of bank holiday, if I'm honest.
But, as someone that's had probably about 12 hours sleep combined over the last 2 weeks,
yeah,
I think you're a bastard.
Well, I tell you what, mate, having like, I don't know, 20 hours sleep or whatever it was, fuck my life. Did it work? Like, I feel great at the moment. This is what I need. Every now and then, I just need like a power off cycle.
Are you still
like a
sleeping,
hibernation
though?
period?
Have you just had like one long sleep and then you stay up for 7 days straight?
No, because like last night I went to bed reasonably kind of on time-ish, sort of like midnight, 1-ish sort of thing. Because then I've still got like 7 hours, because I don't need more than that or 8 hours really, otherwise I start to get overtired, which is probably, it was like a vicious circle that all kind of culminated on Friday.
Yeah.
And then I just slept through the whole thing anyway, so it's fine. So yeah, I mean, other than that, and I'm still getting HelloFresh deliveries that I'm still having to pay full price for now because I can't fucking remember to cancel it.
So I've
been eating some great food. But imagine if we could get sponsored by HelloFresh. I'd love to give away a few boxes to listeners, but I'd love free merch from them. Selfishly,
merch or food?
Both. I want an apron. I want like a HelloFresh apron, but I want
maybe a blue one.
No, that's America.
No, but I'm trying to like make out like that we've Blue Apron are trying to get to us, and HelloFresh need to get in before they do.
Is that with the light? Is that what the lighting's for?
That's why this is blue. It's only reason.
It's like a bat signal.
That's why it's blue, and that's not even a blind. That's an apron that I've just draped over the back of the wall.
Gigantic apron.
Yeah.
Oh right, okay, yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest.
Did you do much for the bloody bank holiday? Bit of time off?
I had no time off whatsoever. Bank holidays do not exist to me. And I did an Easter egg hunt with Logan Sunday morning, which consisted of Zoe going out 10-15 minutes prior into the garden, just putting eggs about.
Throwing eggs into the garden. Like, go find them. Right.
And then I found one later, because he had like all these big eggs that were just one's by the bench, one's by the trampoline, one's on the trampoline, yada, yada, yada. And then was kicking a ball about later. I was like, what's that gold thing? And there was a little egg, but it was all melted in the foil.
Oh, gross.
So like, let's go in the bin.
Am I supposed to do the Easter egg hunts with Did I just say Easter egg hunts?
I don't know, but it sounds like a more fun experience.
I thought you were doing Easter egg hunts with hard-boiled eggs. Like, don't you do them with like painted hard-boiled eggs? Isn't that the thing?
You can do it with fucking straws for all I care. Like, it's mixed up wants to be. Also, we don't have eggs in the house, so we'd have to go and buy eggs and then hard boil them. And sounds like a lot of work. People have already bought him these eggs.
Oh right, yeah. So just wing you in the garden.
Yeah, just put them out. You can go find them. It's fun for everyone except for me. And then
The dogs presumably when they go out and eat them.
No, they weren't allowed out. They had to wait till it was all done.
Very good.
But we never buy him an egg for Easter because he gets like 25 eggs off everyone else. So we always get him a present. He asked for Kirby for the Switch, which is quite an expensive gift for a Easter present. However, I too wanted Kirby, so that's what he had. I text you Sunday playing it. It's real fun. We played it for about an hour, 2 hours maybe. And then he wanted to go on a trampoline, so we went and did that. We had dinner. Do you know what I have been watching? Was it you? It might have been somebody else, but it might have been you. Is it Cake?
No, if I mentioned it, it's because I was moaning about it.
Yeah, that.
Like the fact that such a fad thing could get a fucking Netflix special. Mental.
So, Zoe fucking loves it. We watched that, and then he went and did something else. And then after tea, I said, "Oh, do you want to play Kirby before your bath?" And he was like, "Nah." It's like, okay. And it's now Tuesday at 8:59 p.m. and he still hasn't touched it since Sunday morning.
I'll tell you what. If I come down there next and he still hasn't played it or asked to play it, I'm having it.
Well, you know, because that is still mine.
No, fuck you. That's the rule. That's what we're saying.
It's really good.
I've played the demo more than he's played the actual physical fucking game.
I will say, there's a potential he doesn't want to play it because me and Zoe's shouting at him whilst playing it. Because it's a co-op game. So one who plays as Kirby, one who plays as the little orange bird thing, D.
Oh, I haven't played the co-op. I haven't got any friends, you see. So.
Which is, it's good, but once Kirby goes where the fuck he wants to go, you just go whoop, and you just teleport over to him, which is annoying as fuck.
Do you remember me saying the last video that went up on the channel was
Star Wars, Skyscorker.
Skyscorkers. And in
Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga.
The Skywalker Saga. And one of the things that I said on that, which I didn't even really notice until I was just like, why are you so far away all the time? Because you can just split up and just do your own little things. You could do missions on your own, which for a Lego game is super fucking useful because it used to do the exact same thing where it would whoop, they just pop you back in because it couldn't deal with all of that shit happening at the same time, whereas now obviously they've done their work and sorted it out. Presumably on the Switch though, they were like, no, we can't render a whole level at the same time.
That's the thing though, because
you need to be together, please.
The levels aren't particularly grand. Like I say, it's not like Odyssey or anything like that.
It's still very, you follow this path to get to the outside and fight a big monkey.
You could do it to a point where it's like certain games where the camera will just start, you just can't go any further, and then it'll slowly pull you in unless they
like an invisible string.
Yeah, like unless they start coming back and then you go further back. But he's just fucking charging through, and like there's coins and stuff and whatnot that we need to get, and then we're shouting at him because he's just not listening. But we had the same problem with Super Mario 3D World, where we bought it for the Wii U like years and years and years ago. And me and Zoe spent like all Christmas and all New Year doing it together. We wouldn't finish a level unless we got all of the stars. If we got 2 out of the 3, we gotta go back in. We're gonna have to fucking do it again and get them all. We did it all perfectly. He's older now, so we got him Super Mario 3D World for the Switch, and it's the same thing. He just fucks off, and then it's just like bubble. Both me and Zoe like boop, and I'm floating down like we need to go back. There's a thing there. And he doesn't like it. He does not like it. We played Fortnite because he wanted to play, and so we did a game. Typical me. It's just roles reversed how me and you play. So whereas I get shouted at all the time, that's Logan is me and I am you.
Yep.
And then this was earlier on, and we finished, and he was like, "Go back to lobby, Daddy." I was like, "Would you change character?" He went, "No, I don't want to play anymore." And then, fair enough. So I went back to lobby, turned it off, and I went upstairs to go to the toilet, and I could hear it. It was like, got in. He's like, he's playing on his own. It's like, you little bastard.
I prefer the honesty of that. To just be like, sorry, you're doing my head in so much, I can't play with you anymore. So you're gonna have to leave. You're gonna have to leave the room, and I'm gonna play and enjoy my own.
The thing is, though, it's stuff like like today. He jumped out. We were in a car because we were quite out of the storm, and we were like, we need to fucking literally just book it to beat it before the storm comes. And he decided to jump out because he saw someone, and he's like, I'm going to take them on. Well, actually, there's two of them because we're playing.
What?
We're playing duo. So he's
sorry, is this in Fortnite?
In Fortnite, yeah, not in Kirby.
Fucking hell! Right, I was just no. I thought you meant in real life because I was just like, oh, I thought the weather was quite nice today. I didn't know there was a storm down south. And then he jumped out the car to take someone on. And I was like, wait, what? Who's he just starting fights with randomly?
He does it a lot. I don't know where he's got it from, but
fucking hell! Sorry. Wow. No, I didn't put that back together again. Okay.
But
go on.
he pointed out. He goes, oh, there's people over there. We might ignore them because we just need to go. I'm sick of saying the objective of Fortnite isn't to kill people, it's to just stay alive. So the fewer people you see, the better. But he decided to fucking jump out, take two of them on, then he gets downed. So then I got to turn around, come back, I killed one, and then while I'm reviving him, the other one gets me, so we died. He's like, oh, we died, I can't believe it. Oh, they must be like, hackers. Not quite like that, but that's what he's like. Like, it's your fault. Like, I don't understand, why did you jump out? There's no need to. And that's what winds me up.
It's that fucking meme of the guy on the bicycle who puts a stick in his own. Where he's like, hackers.
But yeah, that's all I could think of. However, before we get on to the main topic, as I told you the other day, I've been playing Telltale Batman, right? And it's excellent. I really like it. I've got one episode left and then I'm finished. And I'm gutted I never played it before now. It's been in my PlayStation collection for fucking years. And it got me thinking, Dan. Imagine if Telltale was still going. I bet you they'd make a Stranger Things game.
Well, speaking of, the guys who... Well, I don't know if it's the creators of Telltale or some of the senior team or whatever, but those are the guys that are making Star Trek Resurgence, which is the next Star Trek game that's coming out. This year, I think, actually. Probably not too long from now, but that is one that is just sort of like, oh, that's a very story-driven thing. It would be like, not like the old sort of like 90s, early 2000s stuff where it would just be like a point-and-click adventure.
Yeah. Just
sort of like, walk to this system, talk to this person. It would be like a way better version of doing that.
Yeah.
But it's all story and character-based. And yeah, I think Stranger Things would fit right into that.
I think they do a really good job with it. The only thing that's annoying me with Batman and all Telltale games, they're buggy as fuck.
Really?
Worse than Bethesda. Worse than Bethesda. Someone really bad.
Bethesda could go. It's like the size of a continent.
But that's what I mean. Like the massive sprawling games. This is an interactive movie.
It's like it's got 400 hours of content. Like, do you want it to run perfectly as well? Come on.
But this Batman one it looks great, and it's probably one of the better looking ones because the character models look better. The walk animation's still a bit, but they're all like that. And I really like something that you would like when you are Batman and you are going in to take a load of people out. You can plan out what you're going to do. So you go,
okay,
you link that goon. He's stood by a light. Maybe I could use that light, swing in, smash him around the fucking head, and then grapple over to that guy, hit him into that. But you plan it all out before you go in, and then it plays out, and you have to do quick time. And it's really cool. But then you go from that, and you're on top of a building with Gordon, and he's got a cigarette, and instead of it being smoke, it's just white lines just going, but wherever he moves, it goes. But it looks like there should be a texture there, and there isn't. And bear in mind, this game's like 7 years old, so it should be fixed by...
and
it's on a PS5.
It doesn't exist anymore.
No, but I'm assuming that was in... From episodes 1 through... There's 5 episodes, from 1 through to 4, because that's where I am. It's the same texture animation that's missing.
Yeah, but don't forget this is a company that was run into the ground by
but they
pushing people too hard. So you'd just be like, oh, we need to fix the smoking animation. Shut up, we've got 5 more games for you to make instead. Like it's push, and then the whole thing crumbled down.
It's just annoying because
that's probably why it wasn't perfected.
What I think will be better, there is a version. You still have to pay like £4 for it, but it's called.
Oh my god, criminal!
No, because I was of the impression I had the full season, and I don't. I have episodes 1 to 5, and then this thing's an extra. It's just the same game, but it's £4, and you get to play it. And it looks like Sin City. It replaces Batman with Marv, and it's just sort of like black and white, but it's like certain colours pop and stuff. But I was watching a trailer for it the other day, and I was like, that actually looks way fucking better. But that shitty white fucking smoke would fit into that one because that's what the smoke was like in Sin City anyway. So I don't know whether that was just a stylistic thing they kept in the game, or that was in there and they went, we can't fix the smoke. How about my light turns off?
All your lights turn off.
How about we just...
Sorry, I just thought Batman was just going to pop up from behind the sofa and just jump you.
That's really annoying. Why's that gone off? Anyway, enough about bloody Batman and Star Trek and all manner of things that aren't... They're just not relevant, Dan. I don't know why you brought them up. You and your Fortnite and your Coachella and...
Talking about my fucking son playing Fortnite again.
What we do have, though, Dan, is a teaser trailer for Thor, Love and Thunder. And I initially did not like it.
What?
Hear me out, Dan. Hear me out. Well, calm down, Dan. Hear me out.
Wow.
So, going from Ragnarok, I was very excited for the next Thor movie, because Ragnarok's probably one of my favourite MCU movies. I think it's fantastic. However, the previous Thor films were dog shit. The first one in particular was more of a rom-com, so to speak. And then when this starts off and it's basically a coming-of-age Thor, I was like, no, they're going back to this. But luckily, that doesn't seem to be the case.
No, of course it's not.
But it's just the thing, tell you what, really spoilers for the trailer if you haven't watched it. When Star-Lord's on about, it says I can't remember the exact word, and he's like yada yada yada, and I just look at the people that I love, and then it cuts to the Guardians. He's just like,
and he's just like, he's just like, what are you doing?
That was so fun. That was so fucking funny.
I bet you anything though, and I'm calling this right now. I bet that's one of the best jokes in the film, and I bet they ruined it right in the fucking trailer. Potentially, because you don't see it coming. It's one of the few MCU jokes that just kind of right
come out
over
of nowhere.
His shoulder.
So, yeah. Especially as it's very cleverly filmed, because the Guardians are kind of all to this side and he comes in from this side. So it's well filmed, because you don't see it initially. Very funny though, very funny.
I bet that's right, it is, that he's doing his Star-Lord's.
It's Taika Waititi again though, isn't it? So that can't be it can't be the best joke. Can't be.
I'm not saying it's not going to be there won't be other funny bits in it, or funny as that, but that to me, that was just such a good little little moment. I was just like, oh, they're gonna be.
I do wish that wasn't in the trailer, because
I kind of do, but that's not to say that there could be another 5 jokes that are just as funny, and they'll all land, and it doesn't matter so much. But because I don't think at this point you need to set the tone for what this is going to be. You know it's going to be funny, and you know that he's now with the Guardians. So if you just go, their funny team ensemble, this new cool snappy Thor, previous fat Thor, now he's doing his Mr. Incredible workout, and I love that. He's just like crossfitting with those chains. I want to see a whole 80s montage of him just getting shredded again, because I tell you, when he was in there, when he's in his outfit again, he looks bigger than he has before. Is it just me, or does he look even bigger?
First off, Dan, we got our first proper look. It's kind of spoiled by a toy company where I saw a figure on Saturday of Jane Foster as Lady Thor. So I'm very annoyed about that.
How do they keep doing that?
Because they're bastards. They didn't even have the courtesy to put a spoiler thing on, because it was on Instagram, so they could have put a spoiler thing. If you want to see it, swipe across to see it. They didn't.
I've seen a few people do that.
Yeah, it's polite. And I also know some of the characters that are going to be in it that we haven't been made aware of yet. But regardless, that's stupid Instagram's fault. What do you think, Jane Foster, her return?
Well, you say return. She hasn't been in it yet.
Well, you know what I mean.
As Thor, I mean, obviously.
No.
I think she looks great. I think the outfit looks great. I think she's definitely, her arms look a bit fucking beefed up as well. I think she's been pounding some weights as well.
It's a suit.
I think she looks. I think just from that sort of like very. Again, I'm a little bit sort of like, oh, well, that's a bit annoying that they put her in the trailer straight away. But
we knew she was going to be in it.
No, I didn't know.
Did you not?
No.
She was cast like at Comic-Con years ago. They come out and said
again,
what it was.
I don't pay attention to those things specifically because I want something like this to be like, oh my god, what a cool little thing.
I'm pretty sure we've talked about it.
But again, you know what my memory's
That's true,
like.
yeah, that's very true.
So it absolutely works in my favours in this kind of instance. But then again, like, if they hadn't put her in the trailer, something would have leaked.
Yeah.
Or like you've done, like I would have seen a thing and been like, oh, for fuck's sake, well, that's a mystery character that's just gone straight out of it. Same as like with Doctor Strange and Patrick Stewart being in it. Maybe they just sort of like, there is no way we can keep this under wraps until the premiere night.
Yeah.
Like, we're just going to have to just sort of like, we'll just put a little clip in and then people can just go fucking bananas and do whatever they want to about it.
What are you going to do if this is another fucking thingy boner? I forgot what his first name was.
Natalie Portman.
No. Ralph Boner. No, Patrick Stewart. He's not Professor X. What if he's Boner's dad?
That'd be amazing. What a fucking double bluff. But I think that like, because she's got like a slightly different Mjolnir as well by the looks of it. It looks a bit more beat up. But is this like an alternate dimension Thor, or is this same Jane Foster who's been given the power
in the
of
comics?
Thor?
I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure the reason we get Lady Thor, as I'm going to refer to her as, is because they were finishing the Ultimate Universe. It was just they were knocking it on the head. There are too many things going on, which is why Miles Morales and stuff got brought over into your I forgot the number, but your main Marvel timeline.
It's like 616.
Yeah, whatever it is. Right. But she was one of
that DC.
Let's call it comic MCU. So we'll call it that.
Sure.
But she was one of the ones that came over, and it was they made it into like a alternate dimension thing, and then something happened. Yada yada yada. So I can only assume maybe this has got something to do with
one of the weird
Doctor Strange or Spider-Man or something. Yeah, like they've got to be brought over. Could be any of them that's brought her over, or
I don't understand
he's gone there.
How they, yeah, which is also possible, I suppose. Like with them zipping about in a ship.
Yeah,
if they just do like a weird
time jump. Do you think
they'll be in it? Jump in.
Do you think they'll be in it a lot?
What?
Guardians, or you reckon there'll be a couple of bits with them and then he'll go on his own?
I reckon he'll start with them. I reckon maybe the first third or so would probably be before he goes off and presumably. It'll be like there'll be him bumming about with the Guardians, and Star-Lord taking the piss out of him because he's gotten fat. Then he gets shredded, he gets abs again, and Star-Lord's like, "Oh fuck, okay, you're way bigger than I am now. That's really annoying." Then I reckon he'll come across either a big baddie, his mom, Loki, or Jane Foster, Thor, and he'll be like, "I'm going to deal with this." Yeah. Guardians, you can fuck off and do whatever the hell you want to. This is way more important to me now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then kind of deal with it, because like at this point, like what's his mission? Like what's his job to do?
Well, that's what he's saying, isn't it? Like that was the rom-com-y vibe I got, where it's like it's Thor, like a coming of age movie where Thor finds himself. Like, does he want to be a hero? Does he want to be a savior? Does he want to be none of the above? And then I assume it's going to be learning lessons from Jane Foster, or he dies and she takes over. Which is massively unlikely, because I don't think she's super all in on coming back to do a franchise.
I don't know. I mean, depending on how this works, though, because if they've not killed off Chris Evans, but he's effectively out of the window. Yeah. But they've got a replacement for him, so that's fine. They've got rid of Tony. Spider-Man, kind of okay, sure. Maybe that's
not
a step
now.
up
Not
to...
now. He's dropped down to your typical just in his pajamas Spider-Man now, isn't he?
I suppose
He's got none of the tech. Still got Rhodey.
What about Rambo? Maybe she could.
That would have made more sense, but yeah, I mean, I suppose.
Well, to be fair though, Armored Wars might explain all of that. There might be
yeah.
another engineer, cool genius that steps up, I suppose.
But does I mean, they don't need to be like for like, do they? I mean, you could just go, all right, Captain Marvel, you're the leader of the Avengers now.
Yeah, like you're the most strongest by a significant margin. So you're in charge.
Here's one of the Guardians to do this. I mean, to be fair,
that's what they seem to be doing.
You could put Rocket in that role. That's
true, actually, because if you went like, okay, well, we need someone who can build sweet tech stuff, he could be like, I do it with my fucking eyes closed.
Plus,
are you kidding me?
He's, in all fairness, with the exception of the height difference, Rocket's kind of like a mixture of Tony and Cap, where Tony's Tony can build all this tech. I'm Cap's your tactician, and he can work all this stuff out. Rocket can do both.
Yeah,
it's just hand to hand. He's not great.
Well, it doesn't matter when he can just blow you up. He's like Rick.
Yeah,
like Rick Sanchez. He's just sort of like you pick him up. Doesn't matter. He's got an electrocution thing built into him. Throw a rock at him. Doesn't matter. It's a force field that bounce it back at you. Like it just seems like he's just all.
He's equipped because he is at a massive disadvantage against most of the foes they're going against. So he's got to be a step ahead of them. And the same with Rick. Rick's like 90,000 years old, so he'll turn to dust.
He's got space tech.
Yeah.
So it's just like Tony could build a suit of armor, sure, but he could build like an actual Sentinel.
Yeah.
Like a 50-foot giant robot, kind of, and then make it fly and go to warp speed or whatever. I don't know if we started talking about that.
We were talking about like how much of the movie do you reckon is going to be Thor and the Guardians? But
well, I mean, there's still another Guardians film coming out, so there's no point in having them in for half of it or three-quarters of it, because what's the point when they've got their own? Because presumably, whatever amount of time that they spend ish in this Thor one, he will probably be in the Guardians.
Potentially, depending, because it might literally just be a case of they do a mission together at the beginning. He doesn't want to be part of another team again after the Avengers. He goes off on his own. We don't see the Guardians again.
No, I reckon it's going to be a montage of like several weeks or months or something like that. Because if he just goes and does one mission, why did he get on the fucking ship in the first place?
I don't mean that specifically one, but I mean it'll be say the first 20 minutes of the film is your mission, multiple missions, montage, and then from there on it'll be they've been together a year maybe, and then he's gone on his travels because he wants to find himself and stuff. But it would also mean he wouldn't be locked in to appear in the next one if he didn't want to or he couldn't for scheduling reasons or whatever. But then if they do bring him back in, then he's obviously going to be in the next Guardians movie as well. Maybe they just do it via like a comlink thing, like with Endgame, where like when they're the hologram things when they're talking to Captain Marvel and everyone else.
At the end of Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
I watched Shang-Chi again the other day. I totally forgot that at the end. Oh, that's such a good ending to that movie. Like where they just have it's like them two sat down and talking to their mate, and they're just sort of like, oh yeah, and this is fucking dragon, and we just had to beat up all these guys and my dragon scales or whatever, and they're just sort of like, yeah, all right. And then Wong just pops through and is like,
we need
Shang-Chi. Yeah, he's coming with me, mate. And then it's like Captain Marvel and Bruce Banner, and Katie's just there like I was having a like a week ago I was just a valet, and now I've seen and fought dragons and this Captain I'm like, what is going on?
It's an amazing movie. I love Shang-Chi. It's so good. It's probably one of the best choreographed, not just MCU movies, just movies in general. Like the fight scenes in that are so good, really well done. But that's the perks of having someone that can do martial arts and can do them extremely well, and he can do his own stunts as opposed to Iron Fist.
And is pretty good looking, if you ask me.
It's a pretty tasty dish. He's
have you seen he's got his little shirt off, like when he's in that? Yeah, that boy's shredded, boy. That boy's shredded.
It's my wallpaper, mate. No, it's just a great film. It's got good. It's your epitome of a Marvel movie where it's a superhero.
Yeah, it hits all the.
It's funny.
It hits all the right notes.
Action's good. Likable characters. And it's very, this thing's happened. It's a tragedy. It's a family matter. It's typical Disney fodder, and it ends exactly how you expect it to end. But it doesn't matter because it's an enjoyable experience getting from the beginning to the end. And it's nice because I remember on a podcast we did, and you were like, "Oh, the Shang-Chi trailer's out." I'm like, "Nah, I'll give it a watch." It's something I'm not overly fussed about it.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Watched it straight after the podcast. Like, this looks like the best film I've ever seen.
But it's like the fact that they took like Ben Kingsley as well, and they were just like, people were just sort of like, "Oh, really? That's what you're going to do with the Mandarin?" And they were like, "Let's put him in. Let's just say that, everyone thinks that that's a joke."
Yeah.
And like he's just there and he's an idiot and he's got his weird little faceless monster that runs about with him. He's got a little sidekick. Brilliant.
It's a good addition.
But they're just embracing the stupidness of the whole thing.
And it was even smart the way they changed. Because obviously in the comics the Mandarin's got the rings, but I can only assume it's because they've just done an Infinity War saga. They've already had someone with something on their hands, so they changed them to the bracelets for the arms.
It's visually more appealing as well.
Yeah, they could use it a lot more creatively.
Well, that's the thing, because I think that's when you get your because all I could see is that there's a bit when it's probably like when he's doing like some sort of like pulse shot sort of thing, but all I could think of was just like all of those rings just sort of lining up like in that sort of just like like they're being held by fucking Kylo Ren, like that sort of like pulse thing they do, and then just like Hawkeye just firing an arrow through it, but it's like it turns into like a rail gun, and it's just like, and it can just like punch through.
That
would
be amazing.
Do you know what I mean? These sort of like it's when you're sort of teaming up all these little powers and stuff like that.
That'd be like your Marvel, Capcom versus Marvel tag team move with Shang-Chi and Hawkeye.
Ultimate Fighter combo.
It's the only time Hawkeye gets chosen in a game, and it's to do a team up move. But no, I'm looking forward to see where it goes with your Shang-Chi's and stuff. However, Dan, I found out today potentially Hawkeye is only getting one season.
I would be very disappointed if that's the case.
Because they've already okayed Falcon and Winter Soldier season 2, and I think it's the weakest one, and I think Hawkeye's definitely one of the best ones.
Maybe if Falcon and Winter Soldier, because obviously those guys have got more sort of face time, like an actual proper use in like a team than Hawkeye ever will do, or annoyingly Kate Bishop probably will do.
The next Winter Soldier is meant to be a buddy cop series.
I want to see him. Like I want to see, because like the Moon Knight, right, for a start.
Moon Knight's fantastic.
Talked about that. Moon Knight's great. End of. But the Moon Knight costume, I think, is one of the best ones that they've had for this TV show so far. Because like we've had like Wanda's and we've had, Sam's new cap suit and a few others, but I think that is movie quality.
Yeah,
that whole like not the Mr. Knight,
even that though,
suit, which is it's fine, but it's just sort of like, oh okay, well I thought that they'd go boom Moon Knight with the full rags and the cloak and everything, and then go zip into a suit and go, oh well that's way cheaper to do from now on, so let's just
keep
use that. I'm so glad that they're not doing that, and it's sort of like reflective of like different personalities. Because all I can think now is when this sort of like weird mental psychopath.
We'll talk about it because there's a new episode tomorrow, so
that's true. And this is where I'm hoping this comes out. Yeah. But there's clearly just sort of like the smart going like, oh, I didn't kill all these people, and like Steven's like, obviously he's not doing it. But
who else did it then?
His accent is growing on me.
I think it's fine
because it's being used so sporadically now. And like it's just sort of like in reflections and just bits and pieces. I prefer that better. But whoever this like weird mental murderer is, what's their Moon Knight outfit going to look like? It's definitely
not going to be this, so don't get your hopes up, Daniel. But there's a comic run. It's a bad run, so it's not worth checking out. But it was an interesting premise that just didn't work. But the I forgot his name. Moon Knight, the god.
Off to a good start.
The god. Let's just call him Clive.
No, it's. I cannot get the word fucking Tachanka out of my head.
Neither can I now.
Which is the Krogan homeworld from Mass Effect. Don't know why that's in there.
It's just
Khonshu.
So,
yes.
Khonshu uses his powers, and the Moon Knight, kind of like Psyche, takes on Spider-Man's personality, Deadpool's personality, the Punisher's personality, and Wolverine's personality. So you've got Mark Spector.
What, in one?
No. So when in this, obviously blacks out, becomes Mark Spector from Steven. From there, he'll black out, become Deadpool, become Spider-Man, yada yada yada.
Right. Okay.
But the Wolverine personality basically gets too strong and too violent, and it kills all the other personalities to just
Jesus Christ.
to just leave the Wolverine personality. And then you've got basically a combination of Wolverine and Moon Knight rolled into one.
Mate, if that's how they want to bring the X-Men in, I'm
Now,
on board for that.
Funnily enough, Daniel, this is what I was thinking last week. And Zoe said,
Right.
"Oh, what do you think that's going to be?" And I was like, "Well, I have a theory, but I definitely don't think that they will. But if they do, it would be an interesting way to introduce certain people into the MCU. I don't think it's going to be that. It's just going to be this is Brian. Brian's just batshit mental.
Yeah. It's going to be a Hannibal Lecter kind of like. Yeah.
It's. I'd love it to be but then they would have to do. It only makes sense if they did the Spider-Man personality, which was kind of like that was the Steven of the crew. It was the crew, still only one person. But they'd have to bring Deadpool in, they'd have to bring Wolverine, they'd have to bring Punisher, Spider-Man.
Well, no, technically, Wolverine would be the only one that hasn't been introduced as of yet.
No, I mean into this show. So it still needs to be aware of who these people are in order to get the personalities. I mean,
this is probably the first show that I think so far hasn't mentioned the Avengers. Because
this is the first show that they haven't specified if this is even part of the MCU. This is kind of like they've built it from the get-go as a one-run limited series.
I think that if they're doing that... Oh, your light's gone off.
Yes.
Are the police here?
It might be. What's going on? Oh, well, let's just leave it off. Can't be.
Oh, okay, fine. But if it's just going to be a limited run, then maybe they're going to... Because it just feels like a waste of what they've shot so far. The outfit, having Oscar Isaacs as like, a decent actor.
Yeah.
Got on board to be a part of this, and then not Kevin Bacon.
No, so it was decided prior to that, but it was more so because Oscar Isaac didn't want to do another franchise, like a big franchise thing, but he signed on to this because he really liked the script and story and everything. Excuse me. But also because he wasn't tied in, so it's his choice. If he really wants to, they can do another season. If he doesn't, they don't.
That's just good. It's good Disney, tie-in stuff, isn't it? Like, because obviously he's got his Star Wars chops with them already, so that means that he could they go, oh, he's a dependable guy. He comes in and he does it and he enjoys it and people like him doing things. So.
Plus
when we're doing the...
they could go down the Venom...
one of the
Venom route, where they go, he's not Moon Knight anymore, this person is, but then...
I mean, technically, yeah, it's a Dr. Fate situation, isn't it? You just be like, just give it to another person and then boom, whoever wants to...
Then it's a big thing, though, when Oscar Isaacs inevitably comes back, like, the symbiote's gone about to everyone, but it always finds its way back to Eddie Brock, and this could be the Eddie Brock of that situation, where it's a cool thing, because he's back. This is real Moon Knight.
But then that's another way, though, of... Because if you said, okay, well, if he's like, okay, well, I've got this one mission and then I'm done. And Kanji's like, right, okay, fine, that's what I said.
I'm getting too old for this shit.
Yeah, but it's just like, well, I'm going to your wife next, but let's say she gets killed, so he can't do that.
Yeah.
Well, what if he does go, well, who's another, special forces maniac that I could cover in super cool...
Frank Castle.
Egyptian armour?
Can you imagine Frank Castle with the fucking Moon Knight
I mean,
powers?
I wouldn't want to be the other... I don't want to be the other person on the end of a smack of his anyway. But to go like, he's got like weird batarangs or whatever, and he's like, just give me like a cat gun or something that I can just shoot people with.
Well, they've gone with the whole he needs weak-minded people to basically take over, and I can't. Frank Castle is far from a weak-minded person. No. You need somebody like Bucky.
Well, I know, because I mean, if wasn't that what the whole Wakanda thing was?
Oh
was
no,
like,
yeah, he's been rehabilitated and everything, hasn't he?
I mean, maybe when he was in sort of like
Winter Soldier mode. God, imagine Winter Soldier Moon Knight.
I mean, it's basically just sort of like it's a super suit.
Well, because
you put it on and you can do all this cool stuff. You can't fly and you can't shoot lasers and stuff, but you can kick the living shit out.
No, but because Moon Knight was always billed as Marvel's Batman, where he's everyone's shit scared of him. He skulks about in the dark, even though he wears a bright white suit. But again, I think that was just because Batman's in a black suit, so just do the opposite. Because in the comics, one of his identities is this like billionaire philanthropist, which actually would have been Bruce Wayne, but all of his different identities bring a different skill to the table, and that's always been one that I never questioned because it's a comic book, but he just goes, yeah, this version of him is a billionaire doesn't mean he is a billionaire.
No,
just because
he's a magic credit card.
No, so like obviously it would be done as, so he's smart enough, he's done this, he's made this money over the years as that personality. But he just always struck me.
And then
it's just like, well,
squirreled it away in a vault or something, and then it's just sort of like, and by the way, I've got $1 billion sitting in a vault.
Yeah, but the other four, you're not having any of it.
Well, to be fair, I mean, like when this whole show started, the premise of it is that Stephen didn't know that he had split personalities. Yeah. So it's one of those things of just like, okay, tell me something about your childhood. It's like, okay, well, how did you get here? You just accept the reality that you're given at the moment, rather than...
They did it really well, though, didn't they? With he'd be like, oh, yeah. They wake up and he's just got a gun. He's like, ah! But it's set up really well, where it's not confusing. Where it could have very easily been a bit of a...
Well, I think that's like, I think that half of the credit for that though goes to, I don't know the actress's name, so apologies, but whoever's playing Mark's wife.
Yeah.
And he's just sort of like, no, my name's Stephen and I work in a gift shop. She's like, fuck off. Like, what are you on about? You haven't spoken to me in like 3 months. Like, what are you on about? And then it's over the last few episodes, she's sort of like, oh, you are a different person, aren't you? Like, there is literally someone else going on in there.
Even down to, like, when they need to solve the stuff and she's like, you need to let Stephen out.
Like he's the
smart one.
He's the vision button that you press is LB and then it solves all the puzzles for you. Although explain this to me, right? In that last episode, not Kevin Bacon comes over with his like magic cane and he's like, oh boy, you don't even know what power is. I've got this like cane that's full of magic and shit. And then like he just like melts a mummy.
Yeah, he melts a sarcophagus and just goes,
and I was
do you want to see more?
I don't really know. I mean, like the first time you did that, you like something like a weird Egyptian invisible dog thing that was awesome. Like that's good proof right there, my friend.
Yeah.
But maybe if people can't see it, then what does that prove?
See, like you could make them see it though.
I don't know about that.
But what's more impressive?
Moonlight getting stabbed to fuck by spears and shit, and then just battering him. Love it. Also, getting shot like 1,000 times in his cape, and then just flicks it round and kills them all with it.
It's so.
Why hasn't Batman done that?
It's so good. Well, I mean, he hasn't got magic powers, but
I bet he would if he could, though. You know what he's like about fucking shooting people.
But what's more like cool and mystical and that's rather impressive. Somebody melting something that's worth a shitload of money that you own, or a magic suit.
By that.
A magic suit just appearing over someone.
Yeah, and then you've stabbed them multiple times and they're still okay.
Yeah, and then when you drive off, he just fucking throws this fucking moonerang.
But then, like, it's when it could be like, you'd be like, okay, well, I get that your mummy magic melting stick. That's pretty impressive, I guess. I can't do that, so that's pretty cool. But then he's got a suit that's made out of bandages. It looks kind of scary and stuff, but sure, okay. what else are you bringing to the table, not Kevin Bacon? And he takes off his shoes and they're full of broken glass. He's like, you're clearly a maniac. I'm siding with you. Like, that is mental. I love every time I see him walk around, I just hear crunch, crunch, crunch. Because I'm just like, what are you doing?
But the thing is, though, when if you for some reason forgot what happened in season 1, that wouldn't make any sense.
Season 1, yeah. You're getting ahead of yourself.
Episode 1, sorry.
There you go.
But why isn't there? Surely there has to be.
Do they just think he's just eating like a cereal bar as he's just walking around?
Yeah. He's just got a bowl of Captain Crunch.
He's constantly snacking.
Why isn't there an all-seeing God for these people? So obviously we get to see like the different avatars of all the different Egyptian gods, and Moon Knight's just like, obviously he's a fucking liar. He's going to summon bitch lady. He's going to do that, and he's like, no, I'm not. And they're like, he's definitely not. We believe him. None of us can foresee any of this stuff going on. So you're clearly fucking mental, Mark Spector. Are you mental? Yes, I am. Well, case closed.
Yeah, I don't trust their judgment particularly well, to be honest.
But I don't see how is there not a god just like an all-seeing god, like a deity that could just go, well, you're all stupid.
Because that's just like I prefer it when they're fallible, where they can be tricked and they can make mistakes. Like because there's 100 Roman gods. Like, it doesn't mean that Odin was he was king of all gods, but that doesn't mean that he was. Not fucking Odin, sorry, Zeus. He's the king of the god, but that doesn't mean that he's completely infallible and all of his,
he's just got followers.
Everything he says is absolutely true and whatever. And he's almost human in that sense that he can be tricked and deceived, and he can be jealous and manipulative and that sort of stuff. And that seems a bit more real to me. That you can just be, and plus as far as these people are aware, he's another avatar. So why would he be? Why would he be trying to summon someone that he should know better about? Yeah. Whereas this guy, he's not a credible source. He's a maniac murderer who's got split personality disorder. Who would you trust?
Not Kevin Bacon would not get my trust.
It was in the glass in the shoes. Right, that's a big red flag straight away.
He looks like a villain. Simple as that.
He does. He talks very softly, and he's got that kind of weird death power. Like, I'd be like, what's that cane about? Yeah. Why do you need that? Oh, because the shoes full of glass, yeah, of course. That's weird. Get out.
What are these scales for? Why have you literally killed that woman? Now, these are all questions that.
But that's on the premise that they're actually watching and actually taking interest.
But that's what I mean. Surely,
but that doesn't mean that they're all just sat round fixing problems. Otherwise, all right. Well, where were they when the fucking blip happened? Where were they when Thanos rolled in?
Not necessarily that, but I mean, like Moon Knight changes the fucking day to night time, and they're all fucking over him.
That's a good one though, to just be like, I need to get their attention with something big, and they're like, right, you made the sun go out. What could you possibly want? That's a big fucking move.
I do like though that they go within all the stuff that we've had over all the movies and all the TV shows, we're going to need something big. It's like nighttime, daytime, nighttime,
full moon, half moon. But that statue that Khonshu's in now. If that breaks, is he released?
I'm of the impression so. But I don't think not Kevin Bacon knows that. Otherwise, he would have took it with him.
Because that's what I was going to say. If you were not Kevin Bacon, why wouldn't you just go up to that thing and be like, right, it's in here, definitely, yeah, smash, problem solved.
I assume he doesn't think he's in it. That's just kind of like a symbol that will stay in the tube.
He was being trapped in stone.
No. But I mean, I don't think not Kevin Bacon knows he's literally in that.
Well, no, I think they specifically told him.
Yeah, they did, but that could just be like a fucking souvenir from the.
No, but that's why he's talking to it.
Oh no, yeah, he just actually says, "So no, can he hear me?" That's what he says. Yeah. But also, if he stole it, then they know he's up to no good.
But to be fair, though, if I was not Kevin Bacon and I thought, if I break this and this guy's just going to pop out again, I'd put that in a safe, in another safe, in another safe, and throw it in the sea. And be like, good luck getting that, Mark Spector.
I'd feed it to Hulk.
Okay, well, that's on the premise that 1, he doesn't chew, 2, you have to get hold of him, 3, you have to make him do it, and not Kevin Bacon doesn't have the kind of ability to. Or come here, Hulk, just pop this in your mouth.
Just
for a second.
Open up your fucking portal and just fucking chuck him in. Send him to
What portal?
where he's getting all these devil dogs from.
Hell, presumably.
Yes, that's what I mean. Pop him in. He can go live there then.
Oh, do you mean drop the statue in there?
Yeah.
Oh, but that means that you'd have to trust all those devil dogs not to smash that thing or chew on it straight away.
What it means is that's where we meet Ghost Rider.
I foresee something like Ghost Rider or Blade or Black Knight or something like that.
I saw a thing today. I don't want to just keep jumping between Marvel things. Somebody's replaced somebody as Blade.
What? What's his name? Marshall?
Yeah,
Ali
he's not Blade no more.
What?
I don't know why. I just saw the headline thing and I forgot to click it. It's just reminded me.
Well, breaking news, Callum. Let's have a bloody Google.
This just in. Dan's looking on Google. I think he's typed in Blade, and we're gonna get to the bottom of this and see if it was a real story. Might not have been a real story. I could have been tricked by fake news. It's fake news, guys. It's fake news. You found it?
Oh, by the way, Earth 616 is. I just happened to notice it as I was just reading past like a Blade bio. That is the. There you go.
We was right. Excellent. And if you turn it upside down, it's 919.
Tyrese Gibson teases Blade casting.
That was his name, but he's from the Fast and Furious, isn't he?
Right. Well, this. Oh, brilliant. Guess who wrote this? It's by Jeremy Dick.
Oh,
outstanding name.
What's this on though?
Hold on. It's movieweb.com.
So it's valid.
But it says Tyrese Gibson seems to be campaigning to play Blade in a new film. But the problem is that a reboot is already in the works with Mahershala Ali.
Oh, there we go. Then it wasn't a real story.
It was someone saying, "Oh, don't worry, guys, I'll be Blade."
Yeah.
And then you've got Mahershala in the background going,
"Hello."
I already am. I remember that whole panel that I did.
I was at Comic-Con
2 years ago.
That's good. Then.
I was in that. I was in Eternals. Like, I think you'd be.
Yes.
Like, I think you might be stepping on a few toes there, my friend.
Also,
do you reckon he just doesn't know that? And he's just sort of like, he's spoken with Wesley Snipes and he's like, "Oh, I'm not Blade anymore and I'm probably not going to have another crack at it." And he's like,
"I'll do it.
I'll be Blade." And they were like, "Mate, you're 3 years behind."
I'm like, I'm 4'10" and I'm a shit actor.
Are you thinking of Kevin Hart?
No, Tyrese Gibson's not that tall. He's not very tall.
Isn't he?
I am assuming he's taller than Kevin Hart. Google it. How tall's Tyrese Gibson? It's our new game show. How tall is Tyrese Gibson? Is he bigger than a ferret?
He is
5'8", 5'9", 5'9". That's what I'm going. I'm going 5'9", Dan.
I don't understand where. I'm looking on his wiki page, but I've just thought it's probably not going to be on there, is it? Height 1.8 meters.
How tall's that? Well, 2 meters is like nearly 6 foot in it, so he's got to be.
No, 2 meters is over 6 foot, I think. 1.8 meters in feet is 5'9".
I know exactly how tall Tyrese Gibson is. I got it correct.
I think you said 4'9", didn't you?
I said 5'9". Originally,
I thought you said 4'9".
The joke originally was 4'10", and then when you were looking, I said, "I reckon he's 5'9". That
right. Okay.
Guess.
Well, I wasn't listening then. So sure.
Well, it's on video.
That's fine.
I'm not lying.
I don't know, but I mean, I feel that like Wesley Snipes is like a big, intimidating fella. Like,
but that's what
like
I mean.
A really good Blade.
But the new casting, I think he's a pretty decent choice. I think he'll be great.
Yeah.
Tyrese Gibson, no. Even Kevin Hart, I think, would be a better Blade.
I'd love a comedy Blade.
I'd love a Blade. You know, he's got his trench coat. It's Kevin Hart on someone else's shoulders.
On the Rock's shoulders.
And then obviously he's fighting around, he's punching and stuff. And it's only when he gets knocked over, they fall over and he falls off, and they're like, "Wait a minute."
Yeah, just sort
you
of
can't
like,
come into this movie.
His cyclones and stuff, and it's just, it's like a big wet fish. Or, I don't know, a better joke than that, obviously, but just like a ridiculous comedy, a comedy Blade.
It's the equivalent of your old coat when we were at college. It's just got random things
with someone as ridiculous in it. Yeah,
I think that'd be a good Blade. Have you seen that video?
# Kevin Hart for comedy Blade
of Kevin Hart slapping Shaq O'Neal with a shoe, and he's like, he hides behind there's like a wall and then a door, and Shaq walks through, and Kevin Hart slaps him at the back of the head with his shoe, but then he gets to run out, but the door won't open. It's just like, ah! And then it opens and he legs it.
Shaquille's like 7'1".
Yeah, it was like you could.
He's a monster.
He literally did. I'll find it and I'll send it to you. But you could see the look of panic in his
probably
face.
a really fucking nice guy.
Oh yeah,
I've just seen so many videos of him just sort of like going into like supermarkets and stuff, and he'd be like, "Oh, kid, you're looking at that bike? I'll buy you that bike if you want." Like, to me, that is just someone who's just got nothing better to do and more money than he could ever spend. Yeah, it's just like, I just need to just buy things. But rather than just going, here's a big old check for a charity or whatever, it's just sort of like, no, I'm going to go and find people on the street. Yeah, and just be like, you just filled your car up. I'll buy you petrol.
Yeah.
Just nice little things.
Especially in today's fucking economy, that'd be really appreciated.
He's probably going to regret doing that if that's the case. If he said to someone like, "Oh, free petrol for a year," and then he's seen all the price hikes and he's like, "Oh my god,
$1.75
a friggin' litre jersey,
$1.75 a litre, outrageous."
Callum, we better fucking finish up, my friend.
We should. It's 7 minutes past 10, Dan.
I'm not interested in the real time. I'm more interested in my
Lego time
because I've got shit to do. Lego time, exactly that. Yes, I've already eaten dinner, so I could get this out of the way, so I could go and play more Lego. Right? Let's fucking get this over with. I'm
gonna end on this, Dan. Tomorrow is Moon Knight Day. Now you know I'm not gonna watch it tomorrow, so we can't discuss it. But what I think we should do, we haven't done it for a lot of the Disney Plus stuff. We've done it for some, and we've got Kenobi coming up, obviously, next month, and we've got Stranger Things as well. So, instead of just doing an episode by episode one, which we did for Mandalorian, I think we did a couple for WandaVision as well. I'm going to just do a series wrap up once it's finished. What do we think of the whole shebango?
Okay.
Rather than trying to plan in around the episodes as they're airing and stuff, I think it'll just be a bit easier.
That's fine, but then that means that that's something else that you need to fill a gap for in whatever podcast that we're doing.
Yes.
Because if Blade shows up in an episode of Moon Knight, in tomorrow's episode of Moon Knight, if you think I'm going to wait until the end of the season to talk about that,
there are exceptions, Dan. There's always exceptions. We'll just wrap into it because then we don't need to delve too much into it because we've already discussed some of these episodes. Yada yada yada. Sure. But it's an idea. We'll probably forget all about it for tomorrow. If you want to see more stuff, we put up the first part of our Lego Skywalker saga went up the other day, and we have an episode of Rocket League as well, which is going to follow, followed by part 2 of said Lego, and we'll probably do some more. I started playing it with Logan on Saturday, and he really enjoyed it, but I wouldn't let him play as Obi-Wan. So,
why?
Because he had a lightsaber and Luke had a blaster. So it's like, I'm having the lightsaber, you can have a blaster. Right, it's like we're doing the New Hope starting off. Because it wouldn't let me select Mando.
Have you got some... I'm trying to avoid playing any of the Mando characters because I want to only use the Mando characters when I'm playing the
Mandalorian
stuff. However... for like the gold boxes, there's like big gold shiny blocks. Ordinarily, you'd use someone like Cyclops or Superman, or like someone with heat vision to burn through it. In Skywalker Blog, whatever it's called, you can only use mercenaries because they've got like rapid repeater. And Mando, he's not the only one that I've got, I think. But he's just sort of like, okay, well that's a reasonable
Wouldn't Chewie's fucking bowcaster do it?
It's only single shot. Like Mando's, he uses like his big long stick, not his pistols.
Yeah, the
so it's like
I forgot what it's called. I forgot what it's called now, but yeah,
like stun stick or whatever.
That's wank.
Yeah, but I was looking at the because there's like Rogue One because I think with the edition that I bought there was Mando, Han Solo, like the solo levels.
Your different troopers.
No, because that's a separate thing.
Oh, I got that one.
The classic, like 1999 Lego minifigs, Rogue One characters only, and the classic. No, not classic. There's like another trooper one, isn't there? Anyway, but it's just minifigs. That's it.
Ooh.
So I was sort of like, it's only like £3 or something, but I'm like, I was watching Rogue One the other day because I was telling my mate about it, and I was just like, look, there is a bit at the end of that film which is worth watching the entire film. Even though the film is great itself, that bit is just watching, like, they're watching the Star Wars films for the first time.
That's the warehouse scene.
Like, for sure, yeah. And I was just like, you can't watch... Because I watched Empire with them, Jedi with them on Saturday, and I was like, I want to show you, after you've just seen that, I want to show you this 5-minute section from the end of Rogue One, because you will just be like, that is not the same guy that I just watched there. But it would, like, it'll get to it.
Yeah.
And even if you watched it next, it wouldn't be out of continuity, say, necessarily. It'd be the other way, if anything.
The other way around.
Yeah, but I'd just be like, I want you to see, like, A New Hope, and just sort of, like, you know, it's a couple of models, like, on a shaky black screen going, to, like, the incredible space battle that goes on in Rogue One. Yeah. Like, I just want you to just
Rogue
watch
One's
those
phenomenal.
back to back.
Rogue One's my
I'm gonna watch.
favourite
I only
Star
watched
Wars
half
movie.
of it, but I'm going to watch the other half of that whilst I'm playing Skywalker Blood Bug.
I like how you're struggling. You're struggling, and you make it longer with Skywalker Blug. It's just Skywalker Saga.
It rolls off the tongue easier. If I could have all my conversations that were just blah 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 blah
blah and dog and
yeah, or like the Mars Attacks aliens,
or the terrorists from Team America.
Yeah, but that's also offensive.
Yeah,
so
I don't think we could do that. Anyway, if you want to see more offensive stuff from Dan, you can go over to podcastversusplayer.com, where there's more podcasts, more Let's Plays, more videocasts, reviews, comic book. We haven't done a comic book show. Let's finish this. Loads more stuff, and we got more stuff that we're doing this week. Thanks for listening. And if you have any suggestions for more offensive things Dan says, let us know, and he'll say them on the next one.
You'll be very disappointed if you go into the website looking for offensive things that I've said, because I don't say offensive things, I don't think.
Yeah, there's a secret page on there, like, things Dan said.
Oh, God.
No, I'm only joking. All right, anyway, let's get out of here, you crafty devil. So, see you in a bit. Bye!